Hello everyone, and today I am joined by Leah and Lauren, who are co-founders of the wonderful Blossom and Pear. Thank you for joining me today, Leah and Lauren. How are you doing?
We're great, thank you.
Thanks for
Excited
having
to be
us,
here.
Blake.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us. Can you provide a quick history of Blossom and Pear? How did it come about and what is it?
Sure.
So we began Blossom and Pear in 2015. We really found that there was a gap in the market for baby products that had a really natural and neutral aesthetic. Everything was really bright and colorful. And it's something that we didn't want to purchase as consumers. So naturally, we created this as a business. We started really small with collections of milestone cards and then have evolved the range into personalized wooden keepsakes. We've designed our own baby journal, and then we've gone on to do clothing and accessories.
What are the main products you sell? You've obviously touched on that a little bit, but what are the main products you sell? And talk us through some of the best performing products.
The main products that we sell are our personalized wooden keepsakes. So we design all of them from scratch and we personalize them in-house in our studio with our team. And our knit clothing collection is massive for us. So our main focus is newborn to 2-year-olds, with a real strong focus on announcements and newborn to first birthday sort of keepsake pieces. We find that that is really where our target market is. So our direct to consumer website is where we get the bulk of our orders, probably 65%. And then the alternate 35% is through our Etsy store.
That's fantastic. Now, one of the things that buyers will obviously love about your business is it's consistently growing. It's certainly a fast growth e-commerce business. So talk us through the trailing 12-month revenue numbers. They're quite impressive.
Our total trading income for the last 12 months has been $5,194,907. It's been on an upward trajectory, to be honest, ever since we started in 2015.
Super interesting. And again, putting you on the spot, but it sounds like you've got quite a strong repeat customer base.
Yeah.
It averages around 16% at the moment.
Right.
So a lot of people buy not only for themselves, but for other gifts. So once they receive one product, it's their go-to to buy all their baby shower gifts for friends, family, and also for their own children.
Yeah, and because we've been going for 8 years now, we've seen people who have shopped with us 8 years ago getting like their first baby announcement, and then 2 years later they're back again for baby number 2. We're even seeing like baby number 3 come through now, which is really special for us.
Yeah.
We've really been there with customers through like their entire pregnancy and baby journey, and it's just really nice for us to have them as a repeat customer and know that they can come back to us and we're giving them something special. A special keepsake, and a special experience.
We have a really incredible ads team who work with us to create ads through Facebook, Instagram, and recently TikTok for us. And we've noticed, we've been working with them for 5 years, but over the last 12 months has just been an incredible growth for us. And we do put it down to the ads and the creation in that regard. We get roughly 5 times return on ad spend. That's over the last 12 months. And in the last 3 months, it's been closer to 6 to 7 times.
What are the major costs and expenses for running this business?
Marketing is up there.
Yeah, we spend roughly $80,000 AUD a month on marketing, but we have that really great return on ad spend. So that's obviously really worth it for us. Our staff is another cost that's up there. So we average about $40,000 to $50,000 a month, but we have a warehouse team that includes ourselves, and we also have a retail team as well in our retail store. So we've got about 14 employees.
Another large cost is our shipping, but they would probably be the 3 highest expenses for the business.
Yeah.
We do charge customer shipping. So the shipping cost.
Okay. So that's covered by the end customer base. Is the full cost of the shipping covered by the customer?
We do absorb some of the shipping costs, but it does sort of work out in the wash because depending on the shipping rate that they choose, sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, but we sort of have just averaged out over.
We do like a flat rate. Yeah. The other expense would be just our merchant fees, which is about $20,000 to $30,000 a month.
So just remind me, who is the merchant gateway and how are who's absorbing the transaction fees that you've just alluded to?
It'll be Shopify payments and also PayPal.
Just talk us about the day-to-day. What does life look like running? And then, of course, from your team's perspective, operating Blossom and Pear every day.
Yeah, so we have a wonderful team. They're mostly self-managed. They're fully trained in the warehouse and the retail store. We have a warehouse team of 8. They work Monday to Friday and operate themselves.
The team consists pretty much of, we've got a warehouse manager, an inventory manager, customer service rep, order dispatchers, a designer and laser operator, and social media content creator. So we sort of have all aspects of the business run in-house in that regard.
So they will work together to create the orders, dispatch the orders, list new products, customer service, and just general warehouse duties of just keeping everything running down there.
And let's just talk about the customer base a little bit. We've obviously heard a bit about Blossom and Pear. We've now heard a little bit about the staff base and how the business operates. But who are your primary customers?
Our primary customers are women aged 20 to 40.
And you talked a lot about this awesome creative and the capability of that team, and then a fantastic ROAS. But how do you acquire new customers? Obviously, part of it is the Facebook creative side. You mentioned Instagram and TikTok there, but just summarize for us how you actually acquire your new customers.
So we get a lot of customers from other customers, thankfully. So existing customer referrals is a huge one for us. Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, both organically and through the paid marketing. We have a really strong, we have 170,000 Instagram followers and over 60,000 TikTok followers.
Yeah.
So we have a really, really big social media base organically. So that's another one.
Yeah, and we work with micro influencers on social media, who we send our products to, and they create us really beautiful content, which we use for all our promotional and marketing. And then also they'll post it to their social media, which then gains, all of their followers will find us through there. And that has been a really key part of our social media growth.
And our growth,
Yeah.
What are the opportunities to grow Blossom and Pear?
We really believe that the opportunities are endless.
We have a list of things that we wish we had the time and ability to kind of like pursue.
So in the last 12 months, we've really heavily focused on clothing, and we've found that this has really projected us upwards. Expanding any clothing collection would bring in more revenue and just further expand the audience.
As we mentioned before, we at the moment solely focus on newborn to 2-year-olds. We have had a massive amount of inquiries to expand that range beyond the 2-year-old into more so like a toddler fashion. We haven't really had the ability to do that yet due to time and, expertise and things like that. So we really do believe that expanding the clothing range above 2 years, even from 2 years to 5 years, is just a really big gap in the market for that. So yeah, there'd be a lot of opportunity for growth in regards to growing it into like a baby and toddler business, as opposed to just solely baby currently.
Yeah, and we're really fortunate to have like our customer base all around the world. So we're not restricted by seasons. All pieces, winter and summer, move all through the year for us. So
yeah, we don't clearance out anything end of season or anything like that, because once it's not the season in Australia, it's the season in America. So we're really lucky to not have to have like, you know, seasonal boundaries.
Like a capsule wardrobe is what we try to design. So pieces that can be purchased like all year round, or like
seasonally, that sort of don't go out of fashion. Like our whole genre, like our whole mantra is to be timeless.
When you think about all that, the business is in a fantastic and prime position to not only grow, but obviously find an exit. Why have you decided to sell the business?
There's a lot of reasons, but we have made the decision to sell the business because we believe that it's growing so rapidly that we personally don't have the expertise to keep up with the growth.
We're mothers of young children, and we feel that this is the time in their lives that are best to move it on to someone else who can really, give it the time and energy that it deserves.
And the expertise to grow it. To what it has the potential to be. Yeah.
We want to
What advice would you give to a new prospective or the owner of Blossom and Pear moving forward?
Our advice, we're quite biased, but we think we have a really winning formula of our brand aesthetic. So it would be not to come in and make any dramatic changes.
Keep the color scheme.
Keep the curated designs that we make. It's an aesthetic that's really loved by our loyal customers. So I think that formula going forward would be something that you wouldn't want to lose.
Yeah, you could just double down on that.
Yeah, that would be our best piece of advice, is sort of keep the heart of the business there with that really neutral aesthetic. That's just loved by our customers.
Leah and Lauren, thank you so much for taking us on the Blossom and Pear journey through this short seller interview. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on the Flipper platform. All the very best with the sales process, and thank you again.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Blake.
much.
Thanks
We're
for
so
having us.
excited to see Blossom and Pear thrive with somebody who can take it to the next level.